Hello, my name is Sarah, and I'm here to give a testimonial on my experience with Aaron from Evolution's Weight Loss and Hormones. I am so grateful that I have Aaron taking care of me. I was actually diagnosed with POTS syndrome in 2022, and long story short, I for years thought something was wrong. I knew that possibly even as a teenager I probably had endometriosis, because every time I would have the monthly cycle, I would either throw up or vomit, and I knew something was wrong with that. Hindsight, I was a very active teenager, which probably overall helped. Was able to, after having my kids, I ended up, getting off birth control, and then things kind of went downhill from there. I think I was about like 32 years old. I started noticing sometimes some changes with my heart. Overall, I just wasn't feeling well. Kind of went in and out of different doctor's appointments, had a cardiologist that I was seeing, an electrophoresis for years, just trying to figure out why am I having palpitations, what's going on with my heart. I mean, at that point I was put on antiarrhythmic medications, high blood pressure medications. My stomach was messed up. They kept giving me all these medications to help with my stomach because they thought I had heartburn, multiple upper GIs, multiple, colonoscopies, just to try to figure out what was going on. Come 2022, that's when my health hit rock bottom. It felt almost like my stomach broke. I was in and out of the ER multiple times, didn't know what was going on. At one ER visit, they thought I was an SVT. My heart rate was like 220, 225. I didn't know what was going on. They brought in the code card, and me and my husband are looking at each other like, this is not like, what is going on with my life here? Nobody still could diagnose me at that point what was happening. I kept going to my cardiologist, like, please help me, like, what is wrong with my heart? Finally, after another ER visit, and I get a hold of him, he finally says, I think you have this condition called POTS syndrome, and it was Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia syndrome. And I was like, oh my God, okay, so something finally to put a name to what's going on with me. But then when I read about it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a chronic condition, and am I gonna ever get better? I read that you needed to start exercising and all that. At that point, I was pretty much bedbound. I couldn't drive anymore. Thank goodness I had a work-at-home job, because then I was working out of my bed. But long story short, I was so desperate to get better. I couldn't do anything with my family. My anxiety was awful. I was high heart rate, chest pain every day. I couldn't stand up to take a shower. I couldn't do the dishes. I couldn't do anything anymore except lay in bed because I was just so sick. I started doing research on my own to try to figure out, and what they would say is just increase your salt, increase your electrolytes. Well, at the point before I met Aaron, I was literally on 12,000 milligrams of sodium, and 90% of what I was drinking was electrolyte drinks, just to try to make it day by day. I literally thought I was dying every day. So I finally did research on like an expert on POTS syndrome in Tampa, Florida, and Erin's name came up and her office. And I was like, okay, she was a functional medicine specialist that knew about POTS syndrome. And I was like, you know what? I'm going for it. So I called the office, and then I left a message. They called me back the next day. The hope that they gave me, like, we're here to help you. Let's set you up an appointment. And so I heard from them the next day, and they set my appointment up. So it was probably October of 2022 when I talked to the office, and they set me up with my first talk to with Aaron. I believe it was on November 6th, November 6th of 2022. She heard my story. She listened to me. She validated everything that I was experiencing. And she told me, I am here to help you. I was like, I started crying because at that point I didn't know what to do. I was so happy, but so scared at the same time. And I just wanted to get better. At that point, it didn't matter. Even my husband's like, look, I don't care if we have to like put a second mortgage on our house. You do whatever you need to do to try to get better, to try to come back to us. And I needed to come back. Erin told me, she's like, we got to do lab work on you, like tons of lab work. But, at that point, I couldn't even drive to go get lab work done. Thank God I have some amazing friends that actually came to my house to draw my blood work for me, because there was no way I would have been able to do it. She told me about the whole program, what supplements I needed to be on, what all I needed to do. She said I need to really watch my diet. They gave me a list of things I needed to completely cut out, completely watch what I was eating. And at that point, I was willing to do whatever. I started the program, I talked with her November 6th and started probably like a week or two later once I got all the supplements for my stomach, progesterone to get my hormones under control, stuff to heal my gut, stuff to heal all my organs essentially. And then, I got my lab work. So I started on all that, got my lab work done, and it was probably within a week, like after I started, she had received my lab work back. And she was like, oh my gosh, Sarah, I'm so concerned because all my blood work showed that I was completely malnourished. I was going on blood sugars in the 30s to 50s. I don't even know how I survived. And she was like, I don't know how you did this. I was so acutely sick, and she's the only one that caught it and helped me. Like I tell you, she saved my life. I was like, you know what? She's the only one that's listened. She's helped me. And I work in the medical field. After about a month of being on her program with the supplements, I researched, I followed the diet. I started noticing even 30 days later, after kind of going through detox, and you feel it, you feel your body going through detox, that all of a sudden I stood up and my heart rate didn't go to 160. It stayed at 80. I was like, oh my goodness. Month by month, I got stronger. I started standing longer. My heart rate started better. The chest pain started going away. The air hunger, and POTS people know this, that air hunger, that started going away. I was able to do the dishes, which, I don't really like to do the dishes, but I was happy to stand to do the dishes. I could stand to take a shower again. I could go outside. I could tolerate the heat. I mean, it was amazing. And I think I followed up with her like every 3 months, unless I needed her. If I ever needed anything from them, all I did was email and they were there to help me. So I followed back up with her like every 3 months. And then even after 6 months, I was like, wow, I can't believe it. It was just amazing on how well I was doing, still following. And once I got to, I think 6 months, it was more of a maintenance plan. Like what things I needed to stay on, what I didn't need to stay on, but I still needed to watch what I eat. I'll never forget when I first met Erin on November 6th, she told me, Sarah, if you follow my plan, within a year from now, this is all going to be in the past and you're barely going to remember it. I'm like, God, I hope so. Because I got to tell you, I prayed and prayed to find somebody to help me. And God led me to Erin. As this November, it will be 2 years that I have been seeing Erin. She has been helping me. I can say 100% that my POTS symptoms are in remission. My heart, I can't tell you the last time I felt an adrenaline dump, which is the best thing ever. I'm able to drive. I'm able to do stuff with my kids. I don't feel like I'm gonna pass out anymore. I do have to watch my diet though still, because every once in a while, now that my gut is healed, I do try to cheat. And I gotta tell you, my gut tells me that's a no-no, don't do that. So I have to keep reminding myself that I need to, stick with a more organic, healthy diet that, Erin keeps telling me, hey, don't cheat every once in a while. So I do it every once in a while, but I feel great. And if it wasn't for Erin, I don't know if I would be here today. The anxiety and depression that I felt when I was super sick was nothing that I ever want to feel again. If you are scared to try it, I was too, but God led me to her. And I knew in my heart that she was gonna help me, and she did help me, and her whole team helped me. So from the bottom of my heart, Erin and Kiana and everybody else who I've spoken to, because I know it's been a lot, I want to say thank you for giving me my life back, and giving me my kids their mom back, and giving my husband his wife back. I can't thank you enough. Words can't even express my gratitude to you guys. So thank you.